Well, there we have it. After months of waiting and people begging for next generation news, Sony finally announced that they're going to be holding a PlayStation 5 showcase next week to show off the future of gaming. How's it going, everyone? It is Only here, or Brandon, and welcome back to another video. Exciting times, really exciting times. We're right around the corner of a lot of things changing here as Sony finally shows off the next generation console. I knew pretty much after The Last of Us State of Play that the next thing really substantially to come out of Sony would be in terms of PlayStation 5. If you think about it, after Last of Us and Ghost, they don't have any games announced, literally, like anything past that. And it looks like we're going to be getting quite a bombshell here on Thursday, June 4th. I know we've had a lot of events in the past talking about keeping our expectations in check because simply the events wouldn't hold up. This one I feel like will be different. This one's gonna be where it all changes. Sony has to drop a bomb here. They literally just have to. They don't have many games announced after Ghost of Tsushima. They need to show off their next generation console. And while Sony even themselves have kind of been just hyping it up today, saying that, you know, they're gonna be doing an E3-like showcase here. This showcase will be a little bit over an hour, giving us plenty of time to get plenty of game reveals from both first and third party partners. So yes, with this just 6 days away, crazy. Let's go over my hopes and predictions for this PlayStation 5 event. Now, to start off my predictions, I do want to say that I think this will be kind of similar to E3 2016. There have been some rumblings around that possibly Sony will just be dropping a bomb on what pretty much a lot of their studios are working on for the next few years. And that does seem quite likely if you think about it. That would be a good way to sell the PlayStation 5, is just to promise a bunch of games that are going to be coming out in 2021 and 2022. Just like they did with E3 2016, where they infamously dropped like 4 game announcements, probably, maybe even more than that, with like Days Gone, Death Stranding, Spider-Man, God of War. It was crazy. I expect them to do something similar, hopefully not to that scale, because as we know, after they did that, they kind of screwed themselves for the next few years. We didn't really get anything substantial from them in terms of conferences and game reveals. I do think it'll be like that. I feel like Sony's going to open up quite a bit on this. Alongside this, I do think we're going to see what the PlayStation 5 actually looks like. I think we'll get the box design and all that. Manufacturing for the PlayStation 5 will probably start sometime here in June. That's pretty much my reasoning for why they're going to probably reveal the box here. Just simply, it's going to leak if they don't reveal it anytime within the next few days / weeks ahead. And well, if you look back at the DualSense reveal, that's literally why they revealed the DualSense when they did, is because they felt like it was going to get leaked and they wanted to control that messaging. So I feel like it will be here. When talking about games, it's obvious that we're going to get launch titles. First and foremost, that will be probably a big focus there. Demon's Souls and Ratchet & Clank, as I've said many times. If you haven't seen my video, I actually predicted what the PS5 launch titles would actually be. I did that video around last week or so make sure to go watch it. Demon's Souls and Ratchet & Clank, 2 games I'm really looking forward to. You know, Bluepoint, as I've said before in the past, they're like the only game that's really been announced for the PS5 is their, you know, project that they're working on. That was mentioned back in the Wired article. Ratchet & Clank has been rumored for like so long now. Insomniac joining the team, Sean Layden saying that the Ratchet & Clank IP is, you know, really essential for Sony right now and going into the future. It just makes so much sense. Silent Hill, yeah, this has been a big rumor as of late. I think the current rumor is that Konami was kind of collaborating and talking about possibly doing something with their IP, but not themselves. The current rumor is that it's being developed by Sony Japan, which would be very interesting. If that is happening, and there is quite a few rumors leading to that, you know, as a possibility, it probably will be revealed here. That's like a big bombshell. It makes a lot of sense, so I would not be surprised at all to hear if Silent Hill gets revealed here. It's also rumored to be apparently a soft reboot, so pretty exciting stuff. Looking ahead of just the launch titles like, you know, Demon's Souls, Ratchet & Clank, as I predicted in the past, I think we're going to get a little bit of a glimpse of one of their bigger games, Horizon 2, as I've said before. I think that's going to be 2021. Yeah, I fully expect Guerrilla to be here to show it off. It's been 3 years since Horizon Zero Dawn. Guerrilla Games are a big studio for Sony in terms of showing off what tech can do. They were there at the PS4 reveal showing off Killzone Shadowfall, the Decima engine. You know, they're very tech savvy over there. They're always near the launches at PlayStations. Totally expect them to be here in terms of the next game from Horizon. It was rumored that apparently the game was originally being developed for the PS4 but later moved to the PS5, which makes complete sense. Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors as of late talking about Horizon Zero Dawn 2. It's bound to happen. We know the game's obviously in development. It just makes so much sense. And I fully expect it to be revealed here, and yeah, looking forward to that. We know that third parties will be in this showcase, and when thinking and going through the list of publishers, Final Fantasy stands out. If you don't remember, we got the Final Fantasy 15 reveal back at the PS4 E3 2013. I believe we got something similar with 14 back for the PS3. Final Fantasy 16 has been a long time. The games are far and few between now, and I wouldn't be surprised if Square shows off a little, trailer or gameplay of Final Fantasy 16. People have been waiting for ages for that, and it just makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Another one of those has also like a good relationship with Sony that we've seen in the past. Yeah, Resident Evil. I think it's been like the last 3 games, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 were all announced on Sony platforms, whether that was like an E3 or a state of play. And while Resident Evil 8 is rumored to come out in January of 2021, which would mean that the game pretty much has to be revealed next month. And with good relationships with Capcom, it just makes the most sense for Resident Evil 8 to be here. To me, that seems like a no-brainer. I'd really hope to see it there, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what that game looks like. Alongside this, of course, we're going to get more footage of Godfall, the first PlayStation 5 game that was revealed. I imagine also alongside this, we're going to get some smaller titles like that. As I've said before, Housemarque is a studio that I'm fully expecting to be right around the launch of PS5, showcasing their new game. I talked about this in my launch games prediction video, but yeah, Housemarque does have a game that they're working on that apparently is their biggest game yet, most ambitious. They've teamed up with a partner, and that same partner is telling them that they can't reveal their game until they're ready. To me, with good relationships with Sony in the past, Resogun, all that, I just think it's Sony, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Housemarque on stage. Of course, besides this, surprises are always the best part in my opinion. I can't wait to see what gets revealed that I totally don't see coming, that we all don't see coming. Those are always the best moments that we all remember from E3. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what they possibly have in store for us. I think it goes without saying that don't expect everything here. I mean, Sony even themselves said that this is the start of the conversation. This will be a substantial reveal, but they're going to have more updates as the summer kind of goes along. To me, that means that we're probably not going to get a price, which is the main thing. I feel like they're going to wait till later in the summer to showcase that off. And no release date, so yeah, I don't even know if we'll be able to pre-order this thing after the event. I wouldn't be surprised if we have to wait until like August or something like that. That's when I'm expecting, when Sony would probably drop another update like that. I think there was also rumors from Jeff Grubb talking about how they're apparently planning a state of play for August, which would be really cool. Jeff Grubb, of course, being the guy that, started this whole thing. A few weeks ago, he was the one that brought out the June 4th release date, and while it has been changing internally within Sony, ultimately he was proven correct. I'd love to see a good glimpse of the PlayStation 5 UI. I'm a sucker for good UI, and that shit excites me. But I also feel like that will be an update that comes later on. I feel like this is going to be a heavy focus on games, which is the most important part. And yeah. Now going into some of my wild hopes, I really want to see what Sony San Diego is working on. Now I don't mean that Sony San Diego, but I mean the one that apparently is being built by Sony in the San Diego area. That's, I believe, rumored to be working on the next Uncharted game in collaboration with Naughty Dog. Of course, all this is speculation at the moment, nothing is confirmed, but I believe that studio was built around 2 or so years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if we get, a name drop, but at the same time, I don't know if this is the time and place for it. I really hope to see this new studio revealed, get their name, maybe, a glimpse of what project they're working on. But yeah, that's a big hope of mine. I just want to see what they're working on, and of course, getting a new studio, of course, is always exciting. Warner Brothers, man. Warner Brothers is one of the wild cards, in my opinion, because they are apparently planning an E3 showcase, as Jason Schreier reported on earlier this year. E3 canceled, and now we don't really know what their plans are. Of course, everyone's kind of pissed off at them because Warner Brothers Montreal teased the Batman game, it was back in like September of last year, and they've just been silent. That shit's hilarious and also just frustrating as hell. It's possible they show up. Batman's had a good relationship with Sony in terms of, the past Arkham games. Warner Brothers, I believe, has 3 games that they currently need to announce. Also, actually, I think 4, if you count Back 4 Blood, the game behind the team at Turtle Rock Studios who made Left 4 Dead. So you got Back 4 Blood, you got Rocksteady's game, the rumored Harry Potter RPG, and of course the Warner Brothers Montreal Batman title. So there's 4 games they need to kind of show updates on. Whether they do their own digital event or pop up at Sony's, it remains to be seen. Just saying, it's a 50-50 in my opinion whether we see them show up. I really hope we do. I really can't wait to see any of those 4 titles, honestly. I'm buying all 4 of those. Really want to see what they look like. It's definitely, if it's not at Sony's event, it has to be sometime in June or July. And my last hope is that we get the return of the Bandicoot. I really hope Crash returns in some form. Kind of broke my heart when Tony Hawk was revealed because Vicarious Vision's working on that, and I really want them to work on another Crash game. To me, after the Insane Trilogy, I totally trust them working on another game similar to the Naughty Dog style Crash games. It's possible. I mean, I believe in early 2018, the studio staffed up massively, hired, I believe, about 100 new employees, so they definitely stacked up. Crash sold extremely well, I believe both the Insane Trilogy and CTR. It's due time whenever we see Crash, I really hope that Activision partners with Sony and we get a new Crash Bandicoot. I'd love to see it. So yeah, those were kind of like my predictions and hopes for what we see at the PlayStation 5 showcase event next week. Make sure to let me know what you guys are hoping to see next week, as well as what you're predicting to see. So yeah, exciting times all around. Of course, I'm going to be live streaming the reveal. It's going to be at 1 p.m. Pacific time if you're wondering what time that is. Pretty much exactly the same time that we saw the last two State of Plays, both for Ghost and Last of Us. And yeah, besides that, I've been Brandon or Online. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at OnlineZhD. Exciting times ahead, and take care.